must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, guys?
What's up? 100. Yeah.
Also, this week, we got the big sushi himself, Jeff Das, with us. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, guys? Pleasure to be here.
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Mondays, you got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesdays is CTE with Chris Los and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel, and sometimes Jeff. And you can get the inside scoop with Alex and Jeff on Thursdays. Just look for all of our social media platforms. Look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
What's it been? 2 weeks about since we last been here?
Yeah.
So let's see real quick. I had a bachelor party, 4th of July, Greenfield Village, and a lot of work.
Don't say it like that, man. It sounds like you had the bachelor party at Greenfield Village. That don't sound
No,
right.
The bachelor party was definitely not we did 4th of July. We did the day before 4th of July at Greenfield Village. And They had the Detroit Symphony Orchestra over there and fireworks. It was cool.
Okay, cool. How was your weekend?
That was fun. Pretty good.
Okay.
Went by too fast.
Like they always do, right?
You know it.
What's up, Bugs? What's going on, man? How you feel?
Oh, dude, honestly, I have a really bad cough. Like, my cough is bad. I feel like I'm, you just get all that mucus stuck in your chest. And you just, can't seem to get it out. So that's where I'm at now. Since last time we were here, I went to U.S. Open. Kind of more or less just chilled. So I had a good time at U.S. Open. That's probably one of the worst tournaments I fought at this year. So I just got to get back to the lab, figure some stuff out. But besides that, man, I had a good time overall. It was a good little trip. After the tournament was done, it was a good little trip. Enjoyed some time out there. And then I'm so stoked this week. My arch nemesis is here, Sushi Doss, man. Now we finally get to actually have our conversations in person instead of us having to talk our trash on each show that we do. And then Sushi. Let me tell y'all something. This show will come out tomorrow, and Sushi will hit me up at 8:01. Angel, I can't believe you. How could you do this? And I'm just damn, man, it's 8:01. How far did you get into this? Did Travis give you the sneak peek? This is crazy. But yeah, man, I'm happy now. So now I get to go back and forth with him.
Oh man!
How many times you been to the U.S. Open?
That was my third time. That was my second time as an adult.
Okay.
Personally. Oh, also, hold up. Let me stop right there before I even go on. I just want to make it really clear. Female fighters need to be on stage at the U.S. Open. We need to get more exposure for our females. I really do believe that. Someone that me and Jeff both know. So one of my dojo sister, Jeff's teammate Brianna Tuitt, she made a video, and I didn't even recognize it until she made the video. How they had the Female Fighters Matter 2 movement as a sponsor, and then they didn't have no females on stage. Right. I did not even notice that, honestly, until she made the video. Jeff, I did not even know.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
It was. That video went viral. It took off like a storm, that night.
Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
I knew because I listened to CTE. So
right, me too.
Right.
It's crazy, but no, it's crazy because I've had other people still messaging me saying they're still not okay with what happened. So I just want to also put that out there, man. Just give our females more shine. And,
today they put out a lot of stuff for the next tournament, and they're going trying to go take that next step, almost above and beyond. So
yeah, they're going. But you see, is the thing, Jeff, you know this better than anyone. It can't be just because you got caught and you did it the next time. It has to be consistent.
Right.
Consistency.
But again, I don't think it's a NASCA thing. It was a tournament thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So But so we'll see.
But
how it
that's
goes.
it, man. So that's how my week is. So everything's going good, man.
Awesome.
All right. Jeff, how about you, man?
Man, I've
What's
been
been up?
busy.
I haven't talked to you in a while.
I know, man. I've just been busy, you know, competing, seeing Angel every now and then.
Yeah, for real. Me and Jeff been talking to each other more often, honestly.
That's right. And just been busy today. I've been at the Christ School all day since 7:30. So doing a breaking camp. So we've been breaking boards and teaching them how to do fun stuff and doing all that with a bunch of kids, and then karate classes, and then a bunch of private lessons and everything. Just, you know, and then podcasts. So I'll get home sometime today, tonight.
Oh, that answers Angel. That answers your question.
Yep.
Angel actually asked you a question, but you couldn't hear us when you were trying to get situated.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
What was it?
I was like, were you at your school? And you weren't answering, and I was like, "Fine, we want to start like that. It's no problem. I'm ready. Don't even worry. Like, that's how you want to start. Just let me know." Hey, also,
man.
real quick, hey Jeff, real quick, just want to know, how's your school doing after the accident? Everything's all good in there?
Oh yeah.
Like for
Yeah,
real,
this
because
is a
you're still
crazy
in
story.
there. You're still in there, but I'm just like, no offense, I'm just like, wow. I thought like we all thought it was gonna collapse. So like,
Well,
It's
yeah.
going
So
strong.
what they did, like 2 weeks after the accident, which again, guys, like they haven't fixed the front of my building yet. They told me hopefully tomorrow they're gonna finally put it in the windows, all right, and get it going. But this was in October, the week of Halloween, that this happened. And 2 weeks after that, they built a supporting wall. So if you see anything or follow my Facebook page or any stuff, all you see is this big wall with Lowe's on it. So you know, like I've been giving Lowe's a lot of free advertising for like all year long. So I should have been being a little bit more business savvy on that and talking to them to give me some hookup or something. But yeah, so they put like the support wall so I could still have classes and everything. But just the front looks like crap. It just looks like they're never going to fix it. And again, we're in July. So what the problem was they've had a hard time. This is a very like historical block. So they've tried to match everything to what it was. But we're talking about something like sheets of glass that they don't make anymore very, very often, like that big and that long and stuff. So they literally said they just got it last weekend, and it's been ordered since like November. So it's just wild. So we'll see. So hopefully within a couple weeks we'll be back to normal and we'll look brand new again. So, but the school is going great, man. I stay busy every day, just having fun, doing what I love doing. So I'm blessed.
Okay, that's good. That's good, man. So I've been keeping busy too. You know, started the new job and everything, and you know, just getting used to that. Of course, me and Melissa been hanging out, doing our thing. You know, we just been
Y'all living
chilling,
together
man.
now, right?
Yeah. Put that out there for the whole world. Yeah.
You already put it out there.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Put it out there already. I would never just do that. You already did that.
Oh my god,
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So she's here now. She's probably listening in the other room right now. She's supposed to be doing her homework because she's back in school, but she's probably paying attention and listening. So yeah. So of course we've been watching movies. She actually watched this movie with me. She watched the whole thing, and you know, it was interesting.
Hold on. Just want to. I have to bring someone on right now. Because he's a part of the show. He's been a part of the show since day one. So
there he is.
What's up, man?
All right.
What's up, G Money?
Undertaker is back.
What's going on, guys?
I wasn't sure you was going to make it.
Happy
People have asked
anniversary.
me. That's right.
Happy
Happy anniversary. 100. Episode
100
100. How you feel, man?
Oh boy, and there we go.
How you feel? Oh man. There he is.
Hey, you're back. All right.
What's up on
Hey,
this? It's all good.
how's your
It's all
back-
good. There you
how's
go.
your-
How you feel?
Good. Happy anniversary, everyone. I don't know if you
Yes.
heard that.
Yeah, we heard it.
Good.
Hey, how's your pec muscle? You good?
It's slightly tore. It's not like Cody Rhodes tore, but it's slightly tore. But it's healing. The blood went away. So hopefully I'm going back into the ring tomorrow, and we're having a show this weekend. So hopefully I can attend it.
Nice.
Okay.
But
All right.
man, you guys do shows late, man. Too late for me, man. I'm gonna get up at like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh man.
Oh, you on that?
I get up at 10 to 5.
You know what's
And
funny
that's
about
early.
that? You know what's funny about that? We actually moved the show to Sundays to record for Mike. And Mike doesn't
Yeah,
even show
back
up
in the
on
day
Sunday.
we did. That's right. Yeah,
That's right.
Funny. That's funny.
So
Oh,
other than
man.
that, you good, man. Mike, you sipping on something? I guess that's
It
a no
looks like
right
he
now.
just woke up.
Yeah, sipping on that frozen. That frozen.
Hey, Mike,
Mike, you sipping on
What you
something?
got, Mike? What you got? Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Now we
wait.
lost his voice.
We can't hear you now.
Can't hear you.
Oh man.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna keep it rolling. Okay. So this is episode 100. We made it to 100. That's pretty cool, man. Because I know I listen to some other podcasts that never made it to 100. Some of my favorite ones that I listen to over and over and over. So I'm pretty happy that we made it to 100, even through all the different variations when it was me and Mike, and then I had Angel and Joe come on, and then Jeff stepped in between. Mike changing jobs, and then Joe and Angel come in. Jeff came in for a few weeks. So he's like,
Did you even have Alex for a couple?
Yeah, I did. I had Alex come on.
I'm telling you, man, Alex doing this, I would really laugh my ass off. Like I was dying when I used to hear him. I would crack
And
up.
that's when my internet was messing up also at that time. I had to get a whole new internet.
That
Had
was
to get rid of
wild,
that.
man.
Who did Sidekicks? Who got the guy from Sidekicks in?
I did.
That was Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember, but yeah, that was a good episode.
Bro,
I like that episode.
Let's just make one thing very clear. Sometimes if we get in people, it's probably Jeff. Jeff knows the grandmother's babysitter that used to be for like
He do.
like Ernie Reyes, and he's like, yeah, I know him because me and his cousin used to go to his babysitter's house, and he'll be there as a baby. And Jeff somehow knows him. Like, Jeff got like the weirdest connection to people. It's crazy.
Whatever works, man. Whatever
Wow.
works.
That's funny. Oh
Mike,
man.
Mike, can you hear me?
Unmute
His
yourself,
mic
Mike.
is off.
You
Okay.
have to unmute yourself, Mike.
Now me and Joe.
I have to do, Angel. Don't worry about me.
There we go. There's
Yeah,
that banter.
I'm just saying, like this damn old age is getting to you, man. You gotta hit the unmute.
Listen to you.
All gotta
Listen
do.
to you.
That's all
Young
you gotta
Buck.
do.
I'm gonna
Young
keep
Buck,
it-
you do realize
I'm
you're the
gonna-
youngest by a lot
Hey.
on here.
I'm gonna keep
A
it
lot.
PG-13. We're live right now, so
You sipping on something, Mike? That's what I want to know. That's what I've been trying to ask you.
Hey,
it's my bedtime, man.
it's 100. Fuck that.
And Trav
What do you
is the
have in-
first one.
What do you have in your
definitely didn't
melatonin?
bet on Trav being the first one.
You're having your melatonin, your NyQuil? Is that?
Oh,
I just wanna know.
You're lucky.
Wow.
You're lucky. You don't really run
He
into
froze.
Mike too
Exit him
often.
out! Exit him out! He froze! Exit him out!
Hey, I was just gonna say, yeah, it is the 100th episode. So, Angel, keep posting pictures of your girlfriend. I'll show that little. Yeah, how'd you pull that off? You must pay that girl some money.
I don't need it. Oh, damn, we're live. I can't say it.
Hey, you didn't pay her money.
No. I don't need to pay
Angel
her no
pays
money.
her.
Trust me.
I know you didn't tell her you were a karate champion. Listen, this old guy will go with jokes all night.
Why'd you have to get him started, Andy? Why did you have to get him started?
Joe, you better tell him.
Oh, he
I'll
should
go
know.
for the juggler.
He
I'll
should
go
know.
for the juggler. Listen, man, you and your little gremlin costume, karate uniforms. Don't start with me.
Oh,
I'll start
there
telling
you
the
go.
truth out
Hey,
here.
come on now. Leave
I'll
me
start
and my
telling
team
the truth.
alone.
I'll start telling the truth.
Leave me and my team alone. We
Dean?
look good and green.
You
Gene?
just woke him up. You just woke Mike
Oh,
up.
my
Don't.
God.
I've been sleeping giant. Travis said this 100. I have the green light.
We look good and green. We look good and green. Trust me.
I'm gonna keep it moving now. I'm gonna keep it moving.
Go,
We're gonna go ahead and jump into the show. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. First off, what did you guys think of the movie? Did you guys enjoy it?
I've always liked this movie.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me. I can enjoy the movie, and we can still sit here and pick it apart. I've liked this movie all the time, and I'm okay with it.
Okay, Angel. So you didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it at all.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know, this is a big thing about it, and maybe it's just my expectation. He just wasn't believable as Bruce Lee. Like I couldn't like obviously he didn't look like him, but like I don't know. I couldn't buy into him being Bruce Lee, to be honest with you. Like for that giving me like a depiction of what he could be like, I wouldn't think that's what he would be like. It wasn't good for me.
Okay.
See, that part I thought was actually the closest thing that was. It seemed kind of, like
really.
I thought he did a pretty good job at it, as far as that goes.
I agree, honestly.
But I mean, I don't know, man. This movie is so, like, again, there's probably 5 things true in this whole movie. You know what I mean? So it's not. I mean, maybe 5 could be pushing it. All right, but it's wild.
Well. And I've always wondered, like, some of these fight scenes, like, where are we getting the what was happening in these fight scenes? Because a lot of them just seem too over the top. Even from the first, first fight scene.
That right there was terrible.
So,
that was just.
But then I got to think, that was probably just for the movie value of the.
That's what the whole movie was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They didn't need to do some of that stuff that they did in the movie. It wasn't necessary to me.
No.
Like even what was it? Maybe the second or third fight and the whole thing with the cook.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, but you're not. Why you want a balance beam with chopping knives and butcher blades, and then I mean the lady in charge and then the lady they were fighting over are watching this the whole time. Like the police should have been called. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Not in those
days. All I'm saying. Like,
no, not in those days. No.
I mean, I guess I'm just saying when you got.
I feel like in those days, like that was like a better, respectful way to have a fight or whatever than it would be, like compared to now, obviously.
Right. I don't know, man. Go ahead.
Something else I just didn't like about this movie, and I guess it was just for me. I just felt like they tried to make it seem like Bruce Lee had like a pristine type of image. You know what I mean? Like a squeaky clean type of image to people. And we just know, we came to learn as the years went on that just wasn't the case. And I don't know. So it's just
in this time we got to think 1993. That was the case. Everyone thought that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then things evolved and changed. I know that his family was involved in this movie. His daughter had a cameo role in the movie. She was the singer later on when they are at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His wife is. Also, they asked his son Brandon to play this, right? And he didn't want to do that role because he was just the beginning of become a star in his own right as a martial arts actor and everything, and was making. I guess when this came out, he was making The Crow, and
he made the wrong decision.
Well,
you better stop. You better stop. You better stop. You better stop. You better stop.
Why do you say that? Why are you saying that?
Because he died doing The Crow.
Yeah, he died doing The Crow. So
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I thought you were saying The Crow was a bad movie, and I was
no,
gonna say,
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, I get you. I was about to say, we're gonna have to fight about that.
So
I'm just saying he made the wrong decision. That's all.
All right, so this whole beginning of this movie, like I forgot about this part, like just with his dad waking up and everything and being all afraid and everything.
I don't believe it. I don't believe any of that.
No,
I looked it up. So some of this stuff is not necessarily Bruce Lee driven. It's just culture driven. So like a lot of them in that area, like they do give them their children feminine names because of the idea to keep away demons and stuff. That is something that I looked at in the research. That's something that they do, but it's not a Bruce Lee thing. You know what I mean? That there's a demon coming after him and all this and that.
So it's not like necessarily a family curse. It's just like a I don't want to say a religious belief, but like something they just do in
a
their
cultural
culture.
type.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, something like that. You know.
So
they take things
hear,
and exaggerate in this movie.
When I hear someone talking about demons and wrestling with demons, I think of it more as a metaphor, where you really think that they believe that there's an actual demon coming after them.
Do you see that right there, guys? When it said based on the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
You
I
know
don't
what
know.
I'm saying?
When I heard demon, I thought they really. I don't know. I thought they believed that there was a family curse.
Well,
I was
that
just
was
trying to
something
figure out-
years ago. Yeah. I mean, everyone thought of that. I mean, on Black Belt Magazine, I remember that being the title. Is there a curse? You know, especially after Brandon died. You know.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So after Brandon died, did it prove that theory even more, or because I wouldn't know, I wasn't alive.
No,
then,
I mean, in the movie, he goes and see his sensei, and his sensei tells him that pretty much that is like a metaphor for his fears, and he needs to conquer his fears.
Yeah,
but they never even gave us a hint of what his fears might have been. They never explained that part at all. That was just kind of left out there for us.
It just pops up.
Not exactly, because there's one point where he pulls the mask off the demon in one of the scenes where the demon and him have a fight, and it's him. So his demon, is himself. It's his own fear of his anger, of anything that he could be doing to maybe mess up his family, mess up his career, everything like that.
There's a lot of
that's
things.
the way I understand it.
There's a lot of things in this movie where they don't explain it; they just show it, and then you have to kind of do your own research. You know, there's a lot of things.
Because that's whack. Because in a way, you're kind of like, I don't know. That's like a scapegoat for not being wrong. You're just leaving it.
Oh
vague,
yeah, exactly. Well, this
and
whole
then
movie
letting
is like that.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah.
Hey, did anybody see if the name on the instructor in the movie was the same as the one in Ip Man? Did we ever cross-reference that? Anyone? I don't know.
I didn't even think to do that.
What do you mean the same?
That's something
I'm talking about. You know what? Never mind.
I think that's something that Mike should do.
God forbid I say the word Ip Man. Never mind. God forbid. Let me just stop there.
No, but what do you mean? What do you mean the instructor? What do you mean? Like his instructor was Ip Man. Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying was the name the same? I'm saying like in the movie, like in this movie, was the same as what his name was. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
I think he just called him Sifu. He didn't call him anything else. I think he just said Sifu.
And he had his picture, and the picture was actually of Ip Man. I thought
it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought so.
No, I just didn't know if there was like any like Easter eggs, like not purposeful Easter eggs, but like you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's the same thing as when they came out with Ip Man. It's like the same. The research is the same. I was just looking to see.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you know, here they have him start when he was like 6 or something. He didn't start martial arts till he was 13. You know what I mean? And he, under Ip Man, and then in Ip Man, he looked like he was like 16 or something when it was in either the first one or the second one when they show Bruce Lee coming to train with him. You know what I mean? So everyone, they always, live. I mean, movies, you can never believe any of the movies. So,
hey, also, I want to.
That guy's still around. You guys haven't kicked him off the network yet?
I think that's a director Travis thing, but I got no problems with Alex.
Alex sucks, man.
I think Alex is entertaining.
He is entertaining, but I was just
Alex really is the Skip Bayless of our network. Like, he really is.
Oh, wow.
Yo,
we're
celebrating 150 in 2 weeks. So
hey, let me start some controversy because I like to do that. Jeff, do you feel Bruce Lee was overrated?
Oof.
As what though?
Just like as a martial artist overall. Like to the general public, not martial artists. So everyone's
we just read that article, so we could talk about that.
I didn't read it. I saw you posted something, but I didn't have time to read it.
Well, it basically was. It's basically the question you're asking, Mike. It's like the same thing.
Okay.
I think
that's controversial right there.
Well, I said that before, remember, and I got executed.
But that's exactly why all right, I'll be the first one to go.
All right,
I think he's overrated. I'm gonna be honest.
I think a lot of martial artists would say that.
This is my reasoning for saying he's overrated. I'm not saying you have to have a competitive career to make yourself credible, but the people he trained never contributed to the martial arts in a substantial way, if that makes any sense. Like the only person really was like Joe Louis.
Daniel Santo, I mean, he's kept everything going, and he's done a lot of stuff with Kali.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's keeping. I don't know, man. It's I don't know. Like, it's tough to say. Like, it for me, it's really tough to say that he isn't overrated.
Wow, Alex.
When it's tough to say he isn't overrated when you see, Bill Wallace, Chuck Norris, they at least put themselves in a competitive environment. Whether they won, didn't win, whatever it was, they still put themselves in that competitive environment and tested their skills. We're really going off of a demonstration saying that Bruce Lee was the greatest of all time. And it was a demonstration.
Right. That's no. That's where I think there's an issue. I think his influence is
strong.
Is where,
yes.
Yeah. And so I think when people, that's why I ask, as what? You know what I mean? As a martial arts or a fighter, way overrated.
I keep losing my internet.
That's all good, Mike.
Let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
In case I get cut out. And sorry to talk you guys, but I just want to say that I feel, and I honestly believe this, and everyone thinks I'm being funny when I say this, I think he was CrossFit before CrossFit.
Yeah.
Like 100%. He was before his time when it comes to like things he did. I mean, he was just CrossFit. But as far as the martial artist, we have a million Bruce Lees right now. Right. He's just happened to be a martial artist that became a movie star.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And he was just very influential. The way he portrayed martial arts, especially at that time, was way better than what was being done before.
And it was needed.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Jeff. The martial arts.
No, that's 100%. Because the problem is he was influential for his time, but who knows what would have happened after that? That's what that article was saying that Angel sent out. Yeah. We don't really necessarily know because to say that he died at the right time is kind of stupid, but I mean, he died and then so his legend lives on. But if he lived, what would his legend be? That's what that article was basically saying. So it makes sense because we'll never know.
Hey,
I mean, think about that. This guy did 4 movies or 5 movies, you know what I mean? And he's like known as the biggest martial arts actor of all time. You know what I mean? That's wild. That's crazy. But again, that's because of that, So
and it's crazy because the person that wrote that article was Alex's favorite martial artist ever, Bill Superfoot Wallace. So like that was the craziest part about it was that Bill Superfoot Wallace wrote an article on Bruce Lee. But I don't know, man. I really say, I think I just said, as a martial artist and as a fighter, I would say, he's overrated. In terms of his influence, no. I say like his influence is strong, and it did shape the culture of what we see combat sports today. I completely agree with that because, in all seriousness, I wasn't. You guys, obviously, I'm the youngest one, but like, I don't ever remember seeing a movie before Enter the Dragon that was using jiu-jitsu moves. Like I've never seen a movie like that. So if there is, I just must not have seen it. But in that first scene, he's basically doing an MMA match. He goes from
an MMA fight,
to then going straight into an armbar, and that's something I think that just shows his versatility in terms of what he was willing to put in his movies, what he learned. I just think we didn't get to see it in that competitive environment.
Right.
So it's hard for me to give him credit like that. That's all.
Yeah, no. When everyone thinks that, you can't be better than Bruce Lee, that whole mind, that's what people think in years. Well, it's like, I mean, they treat Bruce Lee like Jesus, you know what I mean? Like you can't, I mean, that's the way that he's talked about, and so it's like, oh, come on, man. Come on now. That's not the case, So,
all right. So let me ask you guys this question. Cause now we're saying like, is he overrated? There was Michael Jai White did an interview not too long ago. I'm saying like a couple months ago, a year ago. And he got destroyed, like executed, because he said he can beat up Bruce Lee. And when he gave his reasoning, I agreed with it. The fact that Bruce Lee was 135 pounds, He's 210 pounds with, if let's just say the same amount of martial arts knowledge, maybe not ability, but knowledge. Right. I was like, yeah, Michael Jai White can definitely beat up Bruce Lee without a doubt.
All of us on this podcast could beat up Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I had the same argument with people when I was in music, man. 22, 23, 24 years ago. Same thing, you know. It's if you have somebody that's bigger than him but has the same skill level or if not better, of course it's common sense. I mean, you even see it like in the UFC, right? Like Royce Gracie was up here at one point in time. You know, everybody loved him and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And what did he do? He came back eventually and he fought Matt Hughes. And what happened?
And he got his butt whooped.
Exactly. Exactly. You know. So same thing would happen to Bruce Lee also.
Yeah, it happens to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, and you even see that happening now in today's in the UFC today. You know, like how much it's evolving from just the 2000s to now. Those guys now, the people either have just as much knowledge, if not more, starting out because of just how much they know. So, you know, I just think all that stuff plays a part. So that's something else. So that was a good question, Mike. I definitely agree. He's overrated.
Yeah. Hey, a couple of things in the beginning of this. I'm seeing the movie in the background, but some of you guys see it, some don't. I guess Sheen does.
I do. Yeah.
The whole beginning of this, right? So there's a lot, you know, we see the cha-cha thing. He was the cha-cha champion of Hong Kong when he was younger. That part's true. Of course, the fight and all that, who knows, you know. But he was getting a lot of street fights. That's the rumor. That's what they're saying, right? That he was getting a lot of fights and not necessarily causing trouble, but he, you know, if he's a dancing guy, he has an attitude. We're hearing that more as things come out, that he was cocky, you know, and confident, you know, so whatever way you want to sell that. But he was getting those fights. It was actually his mom that sent him to America, not his dad. Okay, I think in this movie it makes it like his mom is dead or doesn't.
That's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like.
And that's not the case at all. And then the other thing it doesn't touch at all is that Bruce Lee was in movies since he was like born.
Yep.
You know, his dad was in the theater, and that's why he was born in America, because he was touring. He was on a U.S. tour in the opera, the Peking Theater Opera, whatever it's called. And so, you know, he was actually at one point a child star. You know, like at teenage, he was in a big movie, and he got very famous, almost like a teen idol at one point. And then, you know, disappeared. And I guess he moved to America and when he was a teenager and actually went to high school in America. So
they definitely didn't portray it like that in this movie.
No. But again, that's what they're trying to sell, you know, the big coming to America type thing, the American dream, and then also showing the other side of it, that it's not all it was, you know, meant to be. And that is something that's kind of throughout the whole movie, right? His struggle with that, you know, with either wanting to get back to America, as we'll see, you know, being actually an American but not feeling like it, you know. I think that's one thing that was really the main thing of this movie, is that, you know, that struggle for Asian Americans in the United States at that time and even now, you know.
Hey, Jeff, do you know of anyone that was in the movie? I'm being serious. Like, you know of anyone or
no? I'm trying to remember if. No, I'm trying to remember if there was someone like Pat, you know, one of the older guys that were in there in a spot.
Sam Park or any of them?
No, none of those were in there.
Yo, this guy. So the reason why I'm asking is just because why wouldn't they have like Joe Louis in there, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know, people.
Hey, I was wondering about that. You know, I mean,
like people that were actually his students. You know, and like as someone you could really use, like Joe Louis, like probably his most, like we know him as like his most like known student or most successful student. Like he like, you know, took all the stuff he learned and applied it to actually fighting and kickboxing and everything else. But I just wondered how come they didn't like use those people.
Now, some of those guys might be in the background, but they didn't put anyone in major stuff. You know,
I just wonder why.
How young Angel is. Angel, you didn't know that Jeff knew Bruce Lee?
Jeff
knows everybody.
You're crazy.
Oh my God.
You're dumb.
But some of those people probably thought the movie was. They probably read the script and thought it was some BS and didn't want to be associated with it. You know,
right? I think so. I mean, there was a lot of that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, so there's this thing I heard about this before in like Hollywood when they were coming out with the Green Hornet, and even when they just made like the past 2 recent like Bruce Lee feature films type movies, they're like people don't want to take on a Bruce Lee role. I heard that's like a really big thing.
Well, because you're pigeonholed as Bruce Lee, and if your first starring role is a biography type, biopic type movie or anything like that, you're kind of pigeonholed as that person. You know what I mean? It's hard to do that as that. Like you need to do a couple big roles as just a fiction type thing and not related to someone else. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because like after this movie, this guy Jason Scott Lee, the only next thing big, he was Mowgli in the Jungle Book, right? The original, like the first live action Jungle Book. He was that, and after that, he was done.
He needs to never act again. That's what he needs to do.
You thought he was a bad? I didn't think he was a bad actor. I thought he was trying to act like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
I just saw it as maybe they just wrote that script really shitty, but I thought he was a terrible Bruce Lee, and I thought he was a terrible actor. I thought he was just doing too much. Personally, the facial expressions and all that, I want to slap him across the face. That was pissing me off.
But maybe that's what Bruce Lee was like. Maybe that's what he was told he was like.
Yeah,
listen,
I could also.
We don't know.
They made it like
okay.
And
if we tell you, oh yeah, Jeff's middle name is Sushi, you're gonna come up to a set dressed as a fucking sushi? No, you're not. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna look at a picture of Jeff Doss and you're gonna look and act like him. You're not gonna dress up as a sushi or wear a sushi roll shirt.
It doesn't have anything to do with it. Nobody's dressing up like a sushi.
People tell you.
What are you even talking about? We're talking about a guy and the way he acted, not his name. Jesus
People
Christ.
tell you something doesn't mean you gotta go and like believe everything they say.
Well, what other way are we gonna know?
I mean, all this stuff is things that we've seen, Angel. I mean, it wasn't just all stuff that we've heard. I mean,
in the movie, not in the like actual, like not him walking around. He's down the street and he just goes, oh, like no, he ain't gonna do that. Look like a freaking idiot.
Hey, that's Hollywood, man.
Blame that on the director.
Years ago, I met this guy. He used to be on Motown. He used to be a writer for Motown. His name was Barrett Strong. He wrote that song, Money, That's What I Want. And I asked him, I said, how true was that Temptation movie that they came out with? And he said, well, some of it was true, but he was like, it's Hollywood. He was like, if you're trying to sell an item, he pointed to like a pinball machine. He was like, if I wanted to sell you this pinball machine, I can't sell it to you like this. I got to clean it up. I got to change the different pieces in here. I got to make it look nice and presentable. He said, same thing with movies. He was like, that Temptation movie, they just shined it up for Hollywood just to put it out there. So
hold on.
I'm assuming that's the same thing for this movie.
Wait,
I love that movie.
Bruce Lee. Can we just stop right now? Did Blue really die in the kitchen? Did he kill himself or did he burn himself on the oven?
Oh my God.
No, I've been wondering that for years. I love that movie.
Actually, no, he died in the hospital. He did not die in his mama's kitchen.
Oh my God. I thought he killed himself.
Sorry to mess it up for you.
Yo,
Spoiler alert.
So many times.
God,
I thought for the longest time, I thought he burned himself getting like the cornbread, like the hand.
Nah.
He burned his hands and died. Then I was like, no, that don't make sense. He must have stabbed himself.
Burned his hands and died. You know anybody that's ever burned their hands?
I was 6, okay? And let me tell you, just to test that theory, I put my hand on a hot stove to see what was going to happen.
But you're still here.
I'm still here. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, so Gene.
Maybe Angel is drinking and he just don't want to tell us.
I know. So Gene, guys, what do you guys think of like the fight scenes in this movie? What was your favorite one? I know the worst one to me was the first one. It was like already the way they started the movie was like too much flips and all that stuff. It's like, all right, I know he didn't do that in a fight, so why even put that in there? You know what I mean?
That's what kind of messed it up for me, Jeff. That's actually kind of messed it up for me because the fight, the choreography, of course, was fine. It was just like, I know that he was not doing flips in a real fight. That's just not going to happen.
Before he even got to
front flips.
Right.
Like Joe said earlier, being on top of the beams when he was fighting the guys and the cooks. Yeah, that's not happening. So I didn't mind them. They just were ridiculous.
You like what?
I like the one in the gym because it makes me laugh.
The one when all the guys at the college attack him.
Yeah.
So like
see,
the one in the gym was my.
I like how he's taking his shoes off and everything. It makes me laugh.
You know what that reminded me of? Not the fight. The fight did not remind me of this, but it reminded me because he acted very arrogant, right? Mm-hmm. When he was doing that scene, and it reminded me of that scene in that Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie?
We looked it up last time. Damn it.
Yeah. Because people were saying Bruce Lee did not act like this.
Once upon
he was way too arrogant. He was too
arrogant.
Yeah,
Once upon a time in Hollywood. There you go.
Yeah. But this scene made it kind of, seem like maybe he was really like that in real life. Because he didn't, he didn't need to act like he didn't need to try and embarrass the guys as he was fighting them.
Right.
Like he did.
But didn't he?
But time out.
Didn't he? Maybe a little bit.
He needs to a little bit with the words that they were saying to him. I mean,
exactly.
Thank you. So
I would have just beat him up. I just would have beat him up. I wouldn't have tried to,
Gene, we know you. You would have took the bat out. And you would have said, "I got you."
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I think on that part they deserved everything that they got. And then, but for me, the best one is the one from the Big Boss. Like that to me was probably the best. That was the best. It was. Again, a little out there with the breaking the ice and everything, but again, for me as a kid, like that was cool. You know what I mean? Like that looked like something Bruce Lee would do.
You know what got me on that? When I saw that scene, I was thinking like, okay, these guys know this is not an actor. This is a real fight has broken out on your sets.
Yeah.
And he's attacking your star and nobody's going to try and break this up.
Yep.
There's
they wanted the footage. They wanted the footage.
Yeah.
Because when he started taking the tape out, the guy said, no, what are you doing? That was the greatest fight scene I ever seen.
Yeah, but the guy was trying to drown him. You're going to
you're right.
Guy's gonna drown.
I get you, but
Gene, two things. One, that was great footage. And then number two, if he's doing that to the start, he definitely don't give a damn about me. He gonna fuck me up too. I don't want that problem.
It's true.
Like,
but think of it this way. Think of it this way: if they get that fight scene right, and then he kills Bruce Lee, they get to now say they got the very last fight Bruce Lee was ever.
Oh, you're so cool. No, you're sick.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you're sick.
Listen, I come at things from every angle. Okay, I'm just saying.
Honestly, I don't believe that thing ever happened. I don't think that might ever happen.
It didn't. It didn't happen, Gene. It didn't. Everyone knows that.
I swear you work for the mob, Joe, because you be coming up with some crazy sick sadistic things, man. Like they can say
it's not sadistic. It's. I'm just saying they could. That's how you'd sell that.
There is only one fight scene in this whole movie that may have even happened. All right, and that was the one where he's fighting to keep teaching martial arts. Not with that guy.
That was my favorite fight scene.
There were several ones.
Yeah, I like that too.
Like that happened, right? People were upset about that, and he did have fights and things like that about that,
And did he kick him in the back and break his back?
Now that didn't happen at all.
All right, hold on. So now this is my thing. So I'm gonna be real. So I that was something I researched because I remember reading it when I was younger, and I wanted just to refresh myself up on it. There, like how you said, that happened several times. There have been not even several, but there's been so many different stories to that. So, like, I guess the way they depicted it in the movie, they were like, the fight went on for, if you ask some other people that were in the witnesses, like, they had to have witnesses to prove it, they said that the fight went on for, 20 minutes, and that Bruce Lee wasn't really winning the fight.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting beat up. If you hear this, obviously, we know it's going to be a biased opinion, but if you hear the story from the wife, and her actually talking about it, like live, like, in an interview, she was saying that it only took 5 minutes. He couldn't withstand the punches and attacks from Bruce Lee. Obviously, she's going to come out and say that.
Right.
But I've also heard, he really did get his back broken. Like, that was a real thing.
All right, time out. Not in a fight, though.
No, not in the fight though.
Right.
But he got
No,
his
no,
back
no,
broken.
no.
They just
No.
blended that part together.
So how did he get his back broken?
All right, so he was doing an exercise. All right,
Yes.
and actually this is in 1970, so this is way after than what it is in the movie, right? They're making it like this was when he was really like becoming Bruce Lee, you know.
He was already the Bruce Lee star.
Yeah, they said he wouldn't be able to do martial arts and stuff again because he had really just overdone himself with this exercise. I didn't really look into what it was. It was some that you don't even hear about anymore. People doing, but just some crazy stuff. And again, like what Mike was saying, you know, he was CrossFit before. Yeah, definitely. You know, and even shows that in the movie with him doing all the muscle things and everything like that. Yeah, but yeah.
I was wondering what was going on with Jeff. I was like, what's he about to say?
Listen, he's got to get ready to go home, okay?
That's right. Wow.
Don't you do that to Jeff. He plays as if he's a Christian. Don't do that, okay?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
I don't care.
I am. So, oh, man. So one of the things, yeah, so that happened. And then the whole thing about he did actually write the Tao Jeet Kune Do during that time, but that book didn't come out till after he died.
Yeah, right? It did.
Yeah, it didn't come out when all this was going on like it showed there, right? So he actually never saw the book. You know what I mean?
Hey, Jeff, can I ask you a question? Just because this is okay, fine. Then you know what? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm on the show. What do you think?
But for the 80s and 70s, was that like a thing where like people would challenge for schools? Because in No Retreat, No Surrender that happened, you know, in a couple of like the 80s movies, that was like a big thing between like schools. Like they would challenge each other or try to take the other person's school. Or was that like a real? Was that like something? Was that, I don't know, man. Is that like a real thing that was happening?
You guys talked about this on the show too. That's a thing that's passed down from traditional martial arts.
Well, yeah,
Japan,
I know that from like
China,
Japan.
So that's kind of where it came from. I think Joe. What do you say?
Nothing. Joe's
I'm just
laughing
looking
at
at G.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Gone.
So that's just a tradition, you know what I mean? That's kind of been passed down for that. I mean, but I've seen it happen. I've heard about it happen even into the 90s. I mean, we were out doing demos at this thing called Day in the Park, and it was a big thing that everyone did, and all the karate schools were doing demonstrations, right? And then people would come and challenge my instructor during the demonstration. My instructor would have to fight him, or just tell him, "Hey, no, we're good." You know, that would be it. Like that literally happened in the 90s. So I mean, this isn't something that just this happened. What's funny now is that guy who always sent his his students to come challenge. They're like best buddies now. So
Angel, I had somebody challenge me before.
No, are you serious?
Yeah,
They didn't come to my school or nothing like that. They challenged me on Facebook. So I told my uncle. I told my uncle. I said, this guy. He says he wants to spar me. And my uncle was like, all right, tell him to come up to the school. Tell him to bring some money. And so I hit him up. I was like, yeah, I'm a prize fighter. I fight for money. So if you want to fight, bring $1,000. Come up to the school, sign a waiver, and we can spar. And he never showed up.
I say that to you. You know what? We're live, so I'm gonna end up getting caught. But I'm saying this because like I've never had anyone do that before. Like at least like up by me. Like if you do that, like you're going to jail like fast. Like it is not. It's crazy. So like that's why I say like, and especially
I found out about it.
People do it all the time, dude. Like when I first opened my karate school, I might have shared this one before, but like people would come in and ask me this and then try to be like, well, can I spar with you? Can I do this or that? I mean, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I even had a guy come in and said he broke Frank Duke's speed record. And
oh no, if he said that, I'll be like, shut the hell up, because that wasn't even a real record. Be quiet.
What's funny? He eventually did one of my classes and then quit after that because he couldn't handle it. So,
I just say that because like, I mean, I've had people do that, but I haven't had people like challenge and make. If you lose, I take your plot of land and your students. Like, I heard about that like in New York, like in like again the 80s, 90s. But I haven't. But I just noticed that that's something that's like like constant in all like the 70s, 80s movies. There's always a way that works itself in. So I'm like, I
in
wonder
every movie, you know, if you beat up a guy's, here's a girl you like, go beat up her boyfriend, you get her. That's how, you know, all the movies were in the 80s, right?
Yo, listen, let me tell you, that train of
Punk
thought
ass
is
Daniel. Punk ass
That's
Daniel.
You know what? For the next Cobra Kai, I'm gonna reach out to them. I'm gonna try to get them on. I want you to look both. I want you to look him right in the eye and tell him he's a punk. Him and William. I'll get them both. I'm gonna try.
Listen, talk to Jeff. Jeff be doing all of them.
I got him on Twitter.
I can get there.
Jeff Seawald.
They've done other podcasts.
Yeah,
I don't know if you got to pay them. But I've seen them on other podcasts. So
yeah,
maybe they'll hang out. Maybe they won't.
One of the fight scenes that I really thought was stupid to manipulate and change for the movie was the one at the tournament.
Yes.
That didn't make any sense because there was so many people there that could say if this really happened or not.
You know,
I definitely don't believe it.
And all the footage, it doesn't even look like that. There's no
ring. Not at all.
The tournament's way bigger than that.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And he didn't fight that same guy?
The worst.
He didn't fight that same guy?
No, he sparred. He did spar, but it wasn't
a demonstration.
It was a demonstration. He had on gear. He had on gear.
He sparred his student.
Yeah,
that was his student. That everyone thinks, oh look at this new video that came out of Bruce Lee whooping this guy. That was Dan Inosanto, his student. They were sparring together. People don't know that. All right. Then the other thing, I think we've talked about this too, was the footage of the guy like trying to catch his hand and all that.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so that guy lives in North Carolina, all right, because he was one of Robert Trias's students, original students. Okay, so Robert Trias was one of the first martial arts schools in all of here in America, right? AKA and pretty much was it Shorin-ryu is that style, right? Okay. So, this guy, I can't. For some reason, I'm just having a hard time with it. But you can look it up on YouTube. The guy who really beat Bruce Lee, right? Or look up something like that, right? Or the guy that got beat by Bruce Lee. Look it up. There's all kinds of stuff about it, right? And because he had beaten, I think he either beat Joe Louis or he beat Chuck Norris at a tournament. This guy was a big time fighter.
Norris.
Okay.
It was Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I think it was Chuck Norris. Yeah.
Because that guy, if I'm correct, Jeff, just real quick, he is in all those promo videos when they did like a fight, like a 5-man team fight. He fought Benny the Jet Urquidez. Like he fought. They did some crazy team. I always see the videos of him. That's why I'm asking you who he was.
Yeah. So he, I've met him, talked to him several times, and he's all about all this. That he really, they cut out the footage of him the second time where he actually grabbed his hand. And where he actually like hit him and stuff like that. Yeah, he said that's what they say. Now you have some people say no, that's not true, and this and that. But it is what it is. But that guy was a top level fighter. So yeah, he was. Listen, Gene and Joe, if you guys ever see some highlights of him, that dude was nasty. No, if you see it, I'm saying the stuff he was doing at that time was like ahead of what people were doing. Like he was on a different type of level when he was doing his techniques, like his sweeps, his kicks, and all that. This is the one thing about like karate. This is like, and this is the part that I don't like. Just in general about the culture of karate, is like we always say it. We say it in our group chat. We never document things, and then we have to take everyone's word for it, and that we lose so much credibility because of that. Like, let's just be real. When Mike asked that question, is he overrated? Imagine if we had the documentation, everything, and not just like what we see from, Ed Parker's tournament, like a little bit more than that. Imagine if we had the documentation or like just something more substance that we can make a better argument whether he is. But we're talking about something that's street fighting. Like who documents street fights? No one does that. You know what I mean? Like same thing. I know if there's people like, man, this is the baddest guy. He's never lost a street fight. Okay.
No,
like,
dude,
that's all you gotta do is take it.
Someone that does that, Joe Louis was one of the biggest people for that. Joe Louis was always known.
But I'm just talking about not even in the martial arts world. You know what I mean?
Mike Tyson,
Kimbo. Kimbo.
Yeah,
That's how Kimbo got popular.
Right.
Look at
Right,
hold
guys.
up, bare,
We're talking
bare
about in the
knuckle fighting.
2000s. Okay, it's a little different.
Well, I'm just,
You know,
but no, but hold on. But this is the thing, though. Like, the reason I say Joe Louis is because he was known for, like, him, Mike Stone, all those guys. They were
Yeah.
known for, like, practicing what they learned. And, like, let's say, like, I'm at Gene's school. We do something in karate. Let's say, Gene, you're like, all right, we're going to do, like, a high block to reverse punch. They'll go to a bar and then say, all right, we're going to work the high block reverse punch in a bar fight. Like, they were known for doing that. Like, that's
there are
why
people that do that now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, one of the style that I'm working on getting my black belt in this year, Defense Lab. That's the guys that created it. That's what they did. They went to mining companies in Scotland and Ireland and got in fights while they were miners, or they went to a club and got into a fight into an Irish pub. You know what I mean? And that's how they learned it. So
That's crazy.
Let me ask you guys this. One of the last things I want to talk about is he developed a TV show, which was Kung Fu.
This was real.
They took it from right. They took it from him and gave it to David Kerrigan, and his version of it has come out in recent years. Have you guys seen it? It's called Warrior.
Yeah.
I want to say I may have. Don't.
Okay.
It's on HBO.
Yeah,
It's a good show.
Yeah, it is real. It is good. I've seen the first season. I've seen like maybe 5 or 6 episodes of the first season, and it is good. One of my friends, he's been on me about watching and getting through it. I've been busy, so I haven't had a chance to sit down and just binge it. But so when I seen this part in the movie, I said, "Oh, okay, so he really did write this," because I wasn't for sure how much he really did, because he's gone. He's not around. Right. And this movie came out, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, a TV show came out about 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. So they should be like on season 3 or 4 right now.
I think it came out like 3 years ago.
3 years ago? Okay. So but
what do you mean it's the show? It's just like what
in the movie.
He wrote?
Yeah, in the movie, he's talking about Kung Fu. He's talking about a guy who comes from China, and it's a Western, and that's it. And it says, like, I think his daughter did press for it, and she came out and said, like, this was my dad's original vision for Kung Fu, and she's able to make it now. So I think she's one of the executive producers, and it's called Warrior. It's called Warrior. Maybe we should do that one time.
I've heard of it. I've heard about that whole press release and all that. I never saw a show, but I do know what you're talking about. I heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But in the movie, he was saying how he wanted the guy to be come to America and looking for his brother. But in the series though, he's looking for his sister.
For his sister, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So at least they got that right.
Yeah, they got that right. Yeah. There's a lot of weird spots. There's one weird spot in the movie where it could be kind of weird, like where it's just some of the dates. Like, what is the point of putting the date up for something like him? Just it said the year and this, and all of a sudden he didn't show up, to take his son to the circus. What was the point of putting that date in there? And then you go, and then it comes to the next thing, like they fast forward 3 years or 2 years to when the guy comes back to pitch the idea for Enter the Dragon. Then after that, he goes back home. Mm-hmm. And so as a kid, I thought, wait a minute. This kid waited 3 years? They messed up. This is a messed up time. When really, if you don't have any context of it, it kind of looks like that, right? Like he came back and he missed it. He'll be all right. It's like wait a minute. They put this out of order. They've messed that up of the movie.
Yeah, they kind of jumped around also with it because, according to this movie, this movie, he only did a handful of movies, like 2 movies. They only talked about 2 movies. They didn't make it seem like he did the Chinese Connection or any of those other movies that he did also. They only talked about The Big Boss and Enter the Dragon. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, and that he was working on Game of Death. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things. They just kind of go around his life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, again, like I told you guys before, like I saw a comment on one of the, a post about this when I looked up how true is, the story. That way I knew I could get some things where people could look at what things were, what they weren't, you know. And someone just said, "Heck, this movie is more about this more similar to my life than Bruce Lee's." You know what I mean?
No,
It's just true
funny.
though. But it's true. I mean, just and then you're adding all the demon stuff. You're adding.
They could have left that out. They could have left that out.
They had all that in there. Then you add the fake stuff of his back getting broken during a fight, and then the guy wanting revenge and coming to fight him at Ed Parker's tournament, which didn't happen. Then you had the brother coming back to fight him at the Big Boss. None of that happened. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just finding little hints of truth and just like, okay, let's exaggerate that. You know,
right?
They made it like he died because of a demon.
Yeah, they did make it.
When
Man,
really,
they did that.
When really he died because of him taking aspirin as well as ingesting cannabis and some type of other stuff. And I've looked at all kinds of stuff. The only thing that ever made it kind of hint to that, this is what I'm talking about. Remember when he comes in after fighting with his wife and everything and goes, on the rant about the, how bad it is in America. And then he comes and he's fighting with Raymond Chow, the director, the Hong Kong director. And he sits down. He's just like holding his head, right?
Yeah.
That was the kind of like a hint.
Yeah.
We were hinting.
Yeah,
we were hinting that maybe he had a headache and then something happened. But they don't really address that. You know, they just say.
I picked up on that also, Jeff, when they had him fighting the demon. The demon was just ramming his head into the wall.
Yeah,
and I thought, okay, that's their nod to what really happened to him. You know,
correct.
Can I just be honest? I'm gonna be real. When I saw that in my mind, I was like, if he's as good as everyone says he is and all that, I'm like, in my mind, I'm whooping that demon's ass. Like I don't care like what we doing. Like we like I'm not gonna let you kill me in my own dream. Like it's my dream. Like I'm
but he wasn't even asleep. He was having daydreams.
Right.
Exactly why I say I'm taking you down. Like there ain't no way you gonna beat me up and my eyes are open. That's crazy.
Yo, that's funny.
So what do you guys give the movie? What do you guys think? What kind of grade do you guys give this?
Don't
we
already know Angel's gonna hit it. I say B. I'll give it a B. I like this movie.
Yo,
I don't hate it, but yeah, there's a lot to talk about in the movie, but I still enjoy it. It held up to me. That's fine.
Jeff?
I think as a movie, yeah, it's a B minus. You know what I mean? But and just because, just good memories and everything. I think they presented it as a good movie, but it has nothing to do with Bruce Lee's life. It's like they have a movie and they plugged little things about his life in it to really add to the mystery of Bruce Lee. That's what this movie did a great job at. Was just we're gonna actually think you're gonna find out a lot. We're just gonna make you think even more and make you ask even more questions. You know what I mean?
Right. Angel.
B minus.
You got it in the gutter?
I'll be
Teacher
nice.
Angel. You give it an A or an F?
I'm giving it. If it's not that, it's an F. It's an F.
Wow, you're effing it.
I was listening because this is my thing. Like especially with a movie like that. Like I want. Not everything has to be factual, but don't basically sell me a lie. Like you, I feel like
Angel, did you have to watch Three Ninjas to get over this movie?
I had to watch American Ninja just to say,
oh wow,
which one's really worse?
Time out. You know what makes me like actually make this movie a B? The soundtrack.
I do like this.
Actually, the music is what made like there's certain scenes that just because of the music you're like tearing up a little bit.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, Jeff, because Melissa said the same thing. She wants to know what the music is in the movie, and I was like, why do you care about the music? Like, you really?
Dude, people in Chinese divisions and wushu tournaments are still using that music for their forms.
Wow.
In Beijing and everything, they still use that music.
You went to Beijing?
I haven't been to Beijing. I've seen videos. It's 2022.
Oh my god! Shut up! Oh my god!
What about you, Gene? What do you think?
I get a movie a B. I give it a B. If this had nothing to do with Bruce Lee, if this was some other guy, this will be a good movie. But just because we already know that certain things wasn't true, it kind of messes up the movie a little bit. But as a story, the story is fine. Like I didn't really have an issue with it. It's only the fact that they just exaggerate some things that didn't even need to be exaggerated.
No.
You know.
I mean, did they bring up some points that I think were topics that needed to be talked about? You know, like I was saying with the Asian American,
this movie definitely was more about racism than it was about martial arts.
It was definitely about racism, you know, with Linda's mom having an issue with it. The
scene at the movie theater, you know, how he reacted, you know, seeing how that Chinese actor was being portrayed.
Well, he wasn't Chinese, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the white guy that they dressed up as.
Right.
Yeah. All that, you know, and even him on how he felt moving back to Hong Kong and back and forth, you know. So there was a lot of things with that I thought were good and just brought, you know, made you think some, you know.
Right.
But
one thing I've been meaning to ask you guys is before we go, do you guys remember the guy that was in the dance scene at the very, very beginning of the movie? He was dancing with a girl, and then these American Navy officers come in and try and take her away or whatever. Was that guy the guy from The Last Dragon? I think he was one of those guys that was in The Last Dragon. I'm assuming Jeff would know that.
Dude, The Last Dragon was made 10 years earlier than that, so I don't think so, buddy.
Okay. I'm going to look it up, though, to see. That guy looked like one of those guys.
Yeah. No.
One of the guys that was at the fortune cookie place. He looks real similar to him.
To remember that, you must have seen that movie a lot.
Yeah.
The Last Dragon, I grew up with Last Dragon. We've been trying to watch that so much.
That is a cult classic.
We saw that so many
times.
It
was a great movie, but just remember like the fortune cookie.
That's true. That's true.
For you guys to say like this is a B, like The Last Dragon, I don't care how bad it is. I'll say it's an A+ every time. Like that is just that movie.
I can't do that either. But I'd rather watch that than. Yeah, I'd probably rather watch that than this.
So Joe, so what is the next movie we're watching?
It's Birth of a Dragon.
Okay, and we're gonna compare to this one. What I think we should do also after that one, we should watch a Bruce Lee documentary, something about his life, to see how close these movies are. To
what's the best one? Because the ESPN one is not good.
But don't watch that one. There's a lot of good ones.
It's tough to find a good one though. Like that's the tough part.
What's the best one? I'm not saying a good one. What's the best?
Well. Yeah, I guess it just depends on the perspective. I'll have to look at that and kind of give you guys some ideas. But there's a lot of good ones that I like. The one that the RZA did because it talks about just his influence on.
I like RZA. I definitely.
You know, what I mean? I just think that's a cool way to look at it. Instead of just a documentary on like he did this. Those are like there's one from like the 70s and 80s that they play on.
Hell
like,
no.
AMC, and it's boring as heck. I mean, it's awful. You know what I mean?
But, no, they probably got George W. Bush narrating that. No, we're not doing that.
Where did that come from?
What in the world?
Joking.
It's the oldest guy he could think of. It's the oldest guy he could think of.
I'm joking. He does the 700 show or something like that. All right.
All right. So Birth of the Dragon is next.
Yeah. This one's going to touch a lot of things that we're having questions about. And they do a lot better job of addressing certain scenes that are in this movie. They do a way better job and depicting it in a better, you know, we see it like that, and also in Ip Man too, and the later ones in Ip Man. Yeah. So
it's on Netflix as well. So
yeah.
Okay, sweet. You guys got any closing remarks?
Hey, happy 100th, fellas!
Yeah, congrats, guys.
Cheers.
Awesome.
Cheers. Me and Joe are the only one been sipping.
That's right. I got water.
Thank you, Jeff, for coming on, man.
Well, you got to drive home. The rest of us are at home, right?
Right. So, I don't drink anymore, so.
I'm chilling.
All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you guys next week. Director, play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.